The ASX 200 here, we can see that we're quite close to a top here, but we're not there yet. We can clearly see that we've got wave 1 and 2 in here and the third wave coming in here. But I haven't really seen a fourth wave in here. I can place a fourth wave in here and look for a little bit more upside there. But on the banks, I'm still not seeing a nice clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know we're coming into the 7,500 and we will be sticking around that number there above and below it. So when we talk about, say, 7,500, we'd be talking about 7,530 and then group 1 above and group 2 below. This particular pattern here is pretty common that we're looking at with Forex as well. The Australian dollar, the pound, the euro, also the DAX and the FTSE have got this particular pattern from the October lows. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are still down here. They're struggling to lift themselves off, so they're certainly not leading. It must be the perhaps higher rates in the US, and also that Europe and Australia are kind of viewing China to open. That may not be a quick start to everything because of their COVID. They might need to flush out the COVID. So the first, part of this year might be, all of that. So the excitement will probably get washed out with a particular correction coming into play over here somewhere for this. We also need to be mindful that just in case with all of these, we could put wave 1 and wave 2 over here and then look at this as another small wave 1 up here and have a smaller move back. So we need to be a little bit mindful of a couple of things that can occur at this point. We are seeing the mining sector lift. Well, BHP and RIO have got this particular, and FMG and all of those have got, well, they've all got different lows, but around, September to November for some of those various commodity stocks there. One of the things that I'm looking for to help create a top in here, to pull this back down from this top, is the US dollar here. So with the US dollar here, we called a little low in just on that spike to the downside there. It hasn't been breached, that particular spike. I thought that it may be breached because on the inverse of that, the pound here, it was lagging the euro who are already taken out the top of wave 3 here, wave 4 and going up for wave 5 here. But I think this has still got more to go up here by the looks of it. It's a little bit dodgy within a few of these aspects here, but I still think I might have the count wrong here, but I feel like we still need to go up here further. So this still needs to top out. I'm wondering what the US dollar will do. Will it hold above its previous low? But what I wanted to point out is that as soon as we start to see it moving up here, because it can move up to the wave 4 here, previous wave 4 rather, then that would be the pullback. What we would see in all the other markets, some sort of ABC pattern here. It could get more complicated, of course, and then wave 5 to the downside, and then while this is coming down, that will push all the commodities further up and all that sort of thing. But we haven't seen this lift here, so we're not seeing stock pull back at this point. So we're not seeing this pullback here, but when we do get that ABC pattern here, or see that lift off here, if we can have a look at this on the 2K tick chart here, this low area through here. So we've had it as from wave 4 here going down to wave 5. Now it's not the best 5-wave structure. It's perfect here, beautiful picture, and then it gets really sort of butt ugly here and so on. So I could have easily made a mistake and I could see it coming down further, but it has held above that low there, so that's kind of interesting. We'll see how that goes. If this low gets taken out, well then that will push then we can have to count 5 waves down further from that point, because basically this could be wave 1 here and 2 here, 1 and 2, and continue to move down here further. So we're not out of the woods yet, and normally get pulled to the 100 anyway, so we'll see how that goes. But that low gets taken out, we're going to see our well, everything else around the world push up at that point, you know. But if this pushes up here, then we're going to see everything go, you know, everything else go down at that point. So this is kind of important, this high and this low here for this. So perhaps keep an eye on that a little bit. So yeah, coming back to this here, we're quite close to a top here, but I just don't think that it's in just yet. If we go, this is on 20k, so it's our bullish count, so we'll just go to 1000 here. Now I've extended it up a little bit here, putting so here's pretty clear. We've got 1 2 3 4 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then we can start to see it move out from this point. But I'm wondering if this is all wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave here, because we're not really seeing and then a fourth and then a fifth wave to come up. You know, it's possible that we've had wave 3 sitting over here and wave 4 sitting here, but it doesn't count very nicely like that. It's doable, and that would give us a top at this point here. This little move that's moving up here is still not completed. We still need to see more highs up here. It's sort of jamming up here a little bit. We've got this nice ABC here, then wave 1 here and 5 waves, and then this is 5 waves here and a correction of the 5 here. So I'm thinking I can't really put this like this here and jam all that up there to put that top in there. I don't think we can do that. So I think we've got to kind of give it some space and look for that third wave up there and a fourth and fifth. But I just don't know if that's going to be the fifth, the blue wave 5 up here. Do you know? I mean, I think there's a good chance that it's just the third wave here, because when I have a look at this is the XJO here, and with the XJO here, we can just push that up there a little bit and bring this down a bit here, keep a few of those things in. So this is counting it up from that particular low here, and I've got 1 2 3 4 5 for 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 1 2 1 2 here, then 1 2 3 4 5 for the third wave here, the fourth wave, a little fifth wave here for third, fourth. So we've got from here, wave 2 here, we've got 1 2 3. The wave 4 here is even a bit small, and then counting this up here. So as 1 and 2, and I don't think we've got this 3 4 business in here and 5 to go yet. That's what I'm sort of thinking. You know, and I've got to look at the banks when I look at this as well, the XXJ here. So this is the XXJ here. This is on 5 minutes here as well. So we can see a nice, is the same as CBA here really, of course, but we'll look at that. But the one here, the ABC here for 2, there's no problems with that. And then 1 and 2 here, then 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5 for the third, fourth here. And then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 5. So I think we're still going up for the third, and we haven't got the fourth and the fifth yet. I think we've still got further to go here for the banking sector, you know, which will take the ASX higher at this point. And I think CBA is the same as well. So we can see clearly we've got 1 and 2 here. And then I think all of this is just the third wave. I think we still need the fourth and the fifth to come into play. So I don't think it's just over just yet. When we look at this at 100 ticks as well here, just to, because it's got such a bearing on the you know, the ASX 200. So just the same as the XJ here, we've got 1 ABC for 2 here, and then 1 and 2, and then the third wave in here with 1 2 3 4 5 for the third, fourth, and then 1 2 3 4 5 for the third wave. I think we've got the fourth. We've still got to get the third, fourth, and fifth wave here, you know. So I think that will take us up to 112 to 113 on this market. You know, the other thing that's sort of haunting me a little bit is too, if I look at the US banks here, for example, calling a low for the US banks here as wave 1 here, wave 2 here for BAC, and then 1 and 2, and going up for this strong third wave here. So if that's the case, that's, you know, that could take you know, that could take those markets, you know, much higher quite quickly, and our banks with it as well. So, you know, we could just keep on tripping a bit higher on all of this. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that situation as well, that this could just keep on sort of moving higher. But yeah, that's where I see the XJO at the moment. So yeah, this can be wave 5 top here, but it can also be wave 3. That's what I'm sort of getting at here as wave 4 here, and then a push up to 76, 76.50. So we should get some sort of classic trading levels pattern coming across here. So we could end up with something like this. I can see how we can put wave 3 and 4 here, but it's just so small for this degree of wave 4, you know, that's what sort of bothers me. But 1 and 2 are quite small as well, so it's doable. Yeah. I mean, the other point here too is the bullish weekly cycle. So that means that Friday close firm, so that means Monday opens firm and trades firmly, and then Tuesday we'll see a little bit of profit taking on all of that, and then Wednesday, Thursday become the swing days and all of that. So just be mindful of that as well. So okay, we're going to move on now with this. So pull that out of the way a bit. So that's CBA. So all the other banks will be doing the same. So it's pretty much we're going to go 1, 2 here, and 3 and 4 across here, 5 up here, and then a correction for wave 4, and then up for wave 5. So that's how the other banks should play out as well. But like I said, we've got to keep an eye on the US banks as well. It's possible, once again, to put this green wave 4 over here. Possible. But yeah, just not seeing this as I'm more seeing this as 1 and 2 here, you know. And this is 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, could probably fit that in. Might be another little bumpy thing. But yeah, look, pretty much up to the 110 for CBA. That will just open higher on the open today and hit that 110, and so probably even a bit higher maybe, but that's where that is. And over to the resources. So once again here, in this case, all the resources are in these lows down here, the same as the top of the US dollar, and the bottom in the S&P had the S&P 500 has got the October low. We're looking for a top here with this as well. I think there's still another little push to go here. BHP, I was reading in the paper too, just a bit of chin wagon, big fundamental news here is that China's been working on getting iron ore, good grade iron ore out of West Africa, and they'll come on, you know, they've been trying to negotiate that for about 10 years now, and it looks like it's coming through, so they could be in production in 2025. So that's going to put Brazil and Australia on the back foot in terms of iron ore. They're getting their own, you know, how China's government's got together and pulled all the iron ore steel makers together, and they're all, you know, getting funding from the CCP to you know, to pull all their buying power together. So I don't know how that's going to affect BHP, by the by. So yeah, we'll need to just sort of take that on board a little bit and see how that fundamental, that was, I don't know what newspaper or sort of digital feed, I read it somewhere, but yeah, that was sort of big news. Anyway, we'll still look for that top here. We don't quite have it in just yet. Let me just check on US BHP. It looks like it still needs to push up here a little bit further. So I mean, from here, I don't know if we've got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in here. Do you know what I mean? And then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we've got at least one more high coming in here for this. So we're not there we're not there yet on this top, and we haven't seen it turn at this stage. Rio's got a little bit more love left in it in terms of going to the upside. I can see here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can see that's the third wave here. And once again, we've got 1 and 2 here, and perhaps 1 and 2 here. So that would create another little move up here. We still need to get up there somewhere with that. So there's still a little bit further to go for Rio, and there'll be much the same for FMG. Now, FMG's got this move down here. It looks like impulsive to me, so it's not really making an effort here, but it can be 1 and 2 in here, and 3, 4, 5. If it comes down and overlaps that top there, then there's a bit of an issue in that, and it could come down further, but otherwise another little pop to the upside. How to count this little bit in here is the tricky bit as such. I mean, this wave 4 could easily go to there or there, but yeah, it's sort of getting close to that particular top there. Over to the lithium stocks, so we can look at the lithium stocks here. I just want to put this on daily here, and actually I just want to have a look at the bonds for the yields here for a moment. Just want to check on that 5-wave structure there for a second. I'm just trying to want to peg that low in there. So this move down here, what do we make of that? It looks like 1 and 2 to here, doesn't it? And then this looks like all like the third wave here, like 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, typical fourth wave here. So I think we've got a fourth wave coming here that could come back up here or in that space and then go down. We've got one more leg to go down in this before we go up. I'm just keeping an eye, because it's going to be such big news if it is a wave 4. You know, that's the that's what sort of, if I can get a lead from Australia to decide on what the US is going to do, that's going to be sort of big news. I mean, to get 5 waves up here, that's pretty serious. No, it's not serious at the moment, or even later, because even when we get up here, we'll be here. But I've still got another 5th wave up here for this. I'll have to check the US, but it does create a much bigger pattern to the upside. And I don't mean just this, I mean this one over here, you know, this going up here further later on in life, you know. Anyway, over to the to our lithium side of the world. So here we go with our, just like to touch base with 1 or 2 of these here. So this Chinese in 1 here is well, you can see it's gone up really nicely now, increasing volume, increasing trend. So yeah, that's, you know, definitely people are, you know, we're professionals, so we got the turn, but yeah, folks are starting to see what's going on now, you know, so there'll only be more of that to come. SQM, I'll just have a check on that. That's nicely there. That doesn't need to come down here anymore. I don't think we can call it wave C here though, but I'll just put it here. The good thing about this is that this low here is being breached now by this. Oops, daisy, I didn't mean to put that like that. So that just means that we've got overlapping wave structures, so we can start looking at this as an impulse wave. So I'll just have to look at this in a different light. I'll have to figure it out. It might be a WXY, or might, yeah, anyway, it doesn't really matter. The fact that that is destroying that low, I mean, that could be 1, 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5. It's probably something like that, I betcha. Be some weird thing, you know, like those 3 bars here down for 1 and back for 2, and then these 3 bars down for wave 3 and ABC for 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably like that, but whichever way you want to sort of stack that up, we'll be heading above those highs. We'll just have a look at PPL here. Like I said, I've always liked this one. I'm not quite sure, you know, what the management is, and I don't know much about their minds or anything like that. I'm just going on this particular pattern over here, and then the finishing off of this, and so that's why I bought it. Okay, so let's go to our little Aussie battlers. LTR, Liontown here. So, okay, so we've had a nice move up there. We've had a strong move down here, and then we've had another strong move up. But the other move up was on a lot of volume, but it was still lower volume than the sellers that came in, you know. Oh, still, a lot of those could be buys, couldn't they? Half of those could be buys on that. So that would sort of balance that out and put that into good stead, that one. If that had closed on its low here, then I could have, you know, attribute all of that volume to the downside, but that's not the case because there was buys that came in here. So, so we could pretty much halve that off there. And then that would put that there. So yeah, I think that's the long trade here is taking that because that now is an ABC pattern here. So taking out that little top there, whatever that is, that would trigger the long trade at that point, and then we don't have to come down far. You know, we don't have to treat that as a third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave down here at that point. So that's what we're trying to figure out. PLS, as we just saw, is fanging it. So that's all of a third wave to the upside. So we can sort of label this on this here a little bit. So it'll be wave 3, 4, 5 here, something of that nature. Won't be that degree of structure. It will probably be, we could probably go for, I have to go in here, I guess. Not minor, this one. I mean, it would be fantastic if this wave 5 here, right? If this wave 5 stays below this top here, because then if it does that, then we can label it. We can label it 1 degree higher at that point and label it wave 1 at that point, you know. But if this wave 5 comes up here somewhere and takes that out, then we might have to look at that as 3, 4, and 5 up here. Do you know what I mean? So it needs to stay under. I don't know if we can, how that will play out, but we'll we'll talk about that more and more as life goes on. All the others are up and good. I did want to point out the gas market, because I'm looking for a wave 4 bounce in gas at $3 on the US markets. So that's going to put gas up. So WDS, I'm a bit slow to look at this, wasn't I? So that wave 4's in. So anyway, that's going to make new highs if you want that. So it'll be something like, it might go up further after that. I have to check. I don't know. It still needs to come down another. I don't know. I'll check. What about car that's cruising? Oh, I like that very much. That's a long trade to me. That is a long trade above those highs there. That's been triggered yesterday. And the stop, just to, still can't get over that word clone. I mean, it's just rather than copy. So that, look, we'll put it under the level here. Just keep it out of thing. We'll put that there, because you can just buy that on the open. But keep it under the $2 just for the thing. Don't put it at $1.99. Just, and then you got $1.98. So you want to be at $1.96. So $1.96. Don't even put $1.96. You could probably go $1.90, $1.90, $1.95, $1.95. Yes, I've lost the plot there. Anyway, keep it down there somewhere, just for the time being. It should be okay though. We're seeing increasing volume. So I just wanted to have a look at the gas, because I know that gas, we're looking for a bounce off that $3 mark on the US spot gas. Okay, that's all the lithium side of things. All cool, all good, making money. Gold, US spot gold, it's just going up to 2,000. That's all I can really say. This trend is not finished. I think I've got it counted right. There are some issues. Wave 4 overlaps wave 1 here, but I'm trying to keep it down as much as possible, try to keep the trend conservative rather than telling you it's going to go to the moon. Yes, I can see it going to 2,200 and 2,300. But yeah, so that's all sort of good. That means that we'll probably have to change the change the count for Newcrest mining, because this is basically the same count we've got for GDX as well. So we may need to change this. The only other way I can change it is not the only way. There's obviously more ways. I could put, because it needs to extend up high. I don't know if it's going to pull back that much. So we might need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 over here, and then continuing to push up higher. I don't think, as I think I did mention that, I don't think it's going to, let's just assume that it goes up. It's going to, look, we're at the top of group 1 here, so there's resistance here. It's going to fluff around here. But let's just say that it pushes, I mean, here it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, that could be to be finished there, you know. Let's just have a look at this on the 100 ticks. Well, there's 5 ways, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not, I don't know about that there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be in there. Anyway, we're close to, I mean, we can look at that as 5 waves, right? There could be another little push up there, but it's either that or we look at this as 1 and 2 here and then 3 and 4 and 5 moving up here higher, you know. I mean, this is about the length of wave 1 when we go back to the daily chart here. See that little wave 1 here of 2 days or whatever it was? This has already had 3 days here. So that can be some sort of top there if we, you know, if it started to drop down. But I don't see it dropping down because US spot gold's going up and the markets are strong. So we can lift this up here higher. I think we may have even been playing with that before. But yeah, so I may have to, you know, I feel like I've done all the right things here, even though the count's may not be correct, because, you know, I've, you know, well, I'm probably just trying to slip out of my mistakes, you know. But I like to start off conservative and build on each little thing rather than extending it out more than I have to and lead folks astray. But I can see US gold going up much higher. So I'm thinking that in one way or another, we'll be going sort of here and moving up. You know, it won't be a big deal, you know, but we could do all sorts of things here. You know, we could do so holding on to this is not a big deal. It's the right thing to do, you know. Yeah, okay, I'm just thinking it out. But anyway, all positive. Okay, we had a look at the US dollar. Yes, this is the Australian dollar. So we were counting down here to see if this was an ABC. So that obviously is an ABC, and we're going to be pushing one more to the upside. So I'm just going to go, that's where we were yesterday. I'm just going to go back to... just going to go back to the daily chart for a moment. So this is basically what we're looking at, and this is the same as see, this is the October low that, you know, that we're talking about, you know, all these markets, you know, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And the reason I know that we're going to be bullish is because, you know, just I have to say it in just in case people have missed it, is that because we're getting 5 waves here in the opposite direction of this previous trend, that means we're going to get another 5 up. So that means we're bullish. And yes, we can look at this as wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, but I'll look at it as an A and a B and a C first because I want to be conservative, you know. I don't want to say that it's going to, because if that's wave 1 here, then it's going to take out the top here, you know, but that's not the case because we've got 5 waves here. So yeah, so yeah, but no but. So that's that's all sort of positive at that point. I'll go back to the daily chart, and this is, this reflects the stocks, and it's a commodity dollar, you know what I mean? So so here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was wondering if we're going to get another little push up there, because that's what the pound and all the others were telling me. So so that's going to get up there, but it doesn't mean we can trade it at this point. We still need to have that top here. We need to get a classic trading levels pattern at this point here, and even when we get to the top here, get up here for the top, we're still going to have some sort of ABC pattern here for wave 2, but then we're going up, and this is what I'm thinking about with the resources, BHP and Rio and all the rest of them. I mean, lithium can just go now, lithium can go up now because it's been correcting down, hasn't it, So yeah, that's that. So I'm not going to call the trade in for this because we're close to a little high here, the same as other markets. But yeah, that's where we are. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.